Welcome to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Hey folks, D-Bar here. Today I'm going to be playing Darkest Dungeon. At least I will be starting a new file on Darkest Dungeon. I've played this game a little bit in the past. I had some troubles my first time through, and then I played a second file, which you can see here, Ashen Hard Estate. I'm not very far in it, but I figured why not start a new one and put it up on YouTube. I know there's a lot of different playthroughs of this game, but everybody plays it a little bit differently, and it always pans out a little bit differently for each person, so why not? So we're just going to go ahead and jump in here. I'll explain the basics as we go. I'm just going to name this YouTube. There we go. Okay. So basically, Darkest Dungeon is a turn-based RPG with a little bit of a twist. And the twist is that there's a stress system. So not only do your heroes have health, but they also have a stress meter. And when that stress meter fills up, the first time at least, when that stress meter fills up the first time, there's a chance to get either a good effect or a bad effect. And these effects can be permanent, or they can be taken away at a cost. Now, for me, most of the time I get a bad effect. However, a few times I have gotten some pretty good effects that help you out a lot. But that is kind of the main mechanic of the game, is to manage your stress more so than even your health. If you fill up the stress meter a second time, your hero will have a heart attack, which, as far as I've seen, it's been fatal every time. Although I think that there's a way that your hero can survive a heart attack. I'm not positive though. So, without further ado, we are going to get started.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, And on its writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Okay, so we're going to start out here in the forest on the road to the hamlet. I believe we start out with just 2 heroes to start with. It should be a crusader and a highwayman. They're pretty good. I think the crusader is my favorite class overall out of all the ones I've used so far. But we will see as we go, because I don't think I've even unlocked all of the classes. Here we are. And it's going to give us a quick tutorial. I'll kind of briefly explain stuff as we go. Each of these squares down here in the bottom right are a room. In order to move from room to room, you just click on the room you want to go to, and you can move around in the world using A and D. Now, the squares in between the rooms are called a hallway.
Brigands
So
have
you click
run
on the
up
room
these
to
lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
I'm gonna have to turn the volume down here because it's very loud. I can already tell that. But in order to move, you're going to click on the room you want to go to, and then you're going to simply walk across the hallway, and there could be random encounters as you go. Okay, so here we go.
Dispatch this thug in
And
brutal
I've
fashion,
been encountered
that all
by
may hear of your arrival.
Brigand. Here, I'll explain combat really quickly. So basically, here I have Dismas, the highwayman. So he has 4 abilities. All your heroes are going to have 4 abilities. They can start out with different abilities, so not every highwayman is going to start out with these specific 4. Not every crusader is going to start out with the same ones either. Every hero starts out with their own set. And each one of these has the stats. See, it has range, and then it has its damage. The range is indicated by the dots. As you can see here, this has the first 3 dots lit up. That means he can be in position 1, 2, or 3 to use this move. And when he uses it, he can hit the target in the 1 or 2 spot. So we have position 1, position 2, position 3, and position 4 on our side, and position 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the enemy side. So just to demonstrate, I'm going to go ahead and use this open vein ability on the Brigand. Now that dealt 4 damage and added a bleeding effect to the Brigand, as you can see. Now my Crusader, he's got a lot more abilities at his disposal right now, because all of his abilities that he has, he can use from the 1 or the 2 spot. So we're just going to go ahead and let's go for a stunning blow. Let's see if we can stun the Brigand. If we stun the Brigand, he cannot use his next turn. So let's go for that. Great, he's stunned. Now on his turn, on the Brigand's next turn, he won't be able to do anything, and he will be damaged 2 points from the bleed. So we're just going to go ahead and open vein again.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
There it is, he's dead. Easy day. Now I can just take all the loot and keep on moving. I'm just going to keep on moving. Here we have an object we can interact with. It's a tent. I guess I'll go ahead and do it. I don't really have anything to put in here in the optional slot, so I'm just going to go ahead and check it. And they have more
Leave
loot,
nothing unchecked.
so that's good.
There is much to be found in forgotten places.
Here we go. We're about to enter the estate.
An ambush.
Oh, no, never mind.
Send these vermin a message.
We have another
The
battle.
rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
I'm just going to go ahead and turn down the volume real quick. Alright, hopefully you guys can hear me a little bit better now. So, I should have switched my guys around last time, but it really doesn't matter all that much. I'm going to go ahead and kill the guy in the back because I know that he is going to be more annoying than the guy in the front. And I can't actually, so... Oh, because the guy in the front is actually taking up 2 spaces. If you notice his health bar, he's actually taking up the front 2 spaces, and the second guy is actually in space 3. So we're gonna have to attack the first guy. Also, another thing I want to point out is these exclamation points above their heads means that they're surprised. That means that we get a whole round of combat before they can react to what we're doing. So if we can kill them before this round is over, then that's just extra for us. I'm just going to stun the big guy in the front. Oh, he resisted my stun. Okay. See, I told you that second guy's gonna be annoying. And Dismas is almost dead already. He's at half health. See what I mean? Okay, so I'm just gonna go for another open vein on the guy in the front. Hopefully cause more bleed. Perfect. And you know, I'm just gonna go for a smite. Just because we really need to get rid of this guy in the front. I'm hoping they take out all of their anger on my Crusader because he's kind of there to be my tank. I can actually hit both of them with Grape Shot, so I might just do that, considering this big guy's probably going to die next round. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to use Bulwark of Faith on myself. That ups my protection.
Prodigious size alone
makes the
does
enemy
not
want to
dissuade
attack.
the sharpened blade.
And now we can go straight for this guy. This really annoying guy. Oh man, he resisted our bleed. I really didn't expect that. Oh well, I'll take him down this time with a good old smite. Wow. I wonder what his evade is. He's got he's got a high dodge. He's got a 7 dodge. All right, let's go for another.
Their formation is broken.
Another
Maintain
open
the
vein on him.
offensive.
And that will be his downfall. Let's see. Look at all that treasure. Now we can actually open this chest if we want. Although I see it even says trapped, so I'm not going to go for it. There is a way that you can deal with trapped chests later on. You can use anti-venom on them, I believe. But we've completed our quest, so we're going to go to the hamlet now. Just what we've been waiting for. Okay, this is your victory screen. So all your unused items and all of the treasure that you collect are sold at the end of your mission. And you get all of the money for them. And then your heirlooms are shown here at the bottom. Heirlooms come in 4 forms, and they're used to upgrade buildings. So they're almost more valuable than treasure. So I always try to go for as many heirlooms as I can. Alright, now we can finally get to the hamlet. Okay, so both of my heroes leveled up here. They're both level 1 now. All heroes start at level 0. And they both have things that can be revealed now. So let's see. So now Reynold, the Crusader, has 10% blight resistance. That's good. These are the traits I was talking about. They can be positive or negative. Typically, the more stress they have, the more chance they have of getting negative traits. Also, when they hit their stress limit, which is shown here by this meter, once they hit it the first time, they usually get a bad trait. Although it is possible to get a good trait still. Alright, let's see what Dismas got. Night Owl, perfect. Now, that's not the best because I typically like to keep my torch high. I'll explain torches a little bit once we get in our first dungeon. But, you know, it's good just in case you're running low on torches. He's not going to have a negative effect. He's going to at least, you know, get a positive effect. Alright, let's go back to the hamlet.
Welcome
And
home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
Alright, I always forget the narrator talks every time you do something. But, here is your quests and stuff. It's weird because this is an RPG, but you don't directly go after the quests. Like, defeat Apprentice Necromancer. That's a very specific quest. You don't just go out and look for an Apprentice Necromancer and kill it. That's actually a boss that you have to fight, and you can only fight it once you've done so many things. Each week you'll be given a look into what happened that week, so you know, any heroes who level up or what you've done in dungeons, any heroes who were recovering, it'll tell you how much they've recovered, things like that. So you want to read up on that each week if you can. That's just telling me where to look for help. So this is the estate, or the hamlet, whatever you want to call it. It's got various buildings that do various different things. Now, this is
In
so
time,
this is just how you
will
play back
know the
cutscenes.
tragic extent of my failings.
You've got the graveyard where you can look at all your heroes who've died. It doesn't really tell you much else about them. I'm not going to click on everything right this second because every time I click on it, the narrator's going to narrate, and I don't want to take up a ton of time right now. But for now, we're going to go to the stagecoach because we want to recruit our next 2 heroes so that we can go on our first dungeon. And each dungeon you can bring 4 heroes, so you're going to want at least 4 at all times. So I'm going to go in here and recruit 2 more.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
All you do to recruit a hero is click and drag them.
What better
They
laboratory
cost
than the
nothing.
blood-soaked battlefield?
They cost nothing to add to your party. They're always willing just to join, and after each week there will always be new heroes in here. So oftentimes the best thing that you can do in the very beginning of the game is to upgrade your stagecoach. Now the different upgrades are increase the number of available heroes. That's how many it will be in here. Your hero barracks that increases the size of your roster, so how many heroes you can actually have on standby to use. You can see I have 9, and I've used 4 of the 9 spots. And then experienced recruits. That one is not as vital. All that does is gives you heroes of a higher level. The reason I say it's not as vital is just because it's super easy to level up your heroes. Just send them in a basic level dungeon and basically let them fight it out, and then come back and they level up. So this, if you just want to waste less time in the late game, this is good, but other than that, you can always just train heroes from the very beginning without much trouble. So now that we've got our 4 new heroes, we're going to see about going into the next dungeon. Alright, I'm back. I took a short break there. I realized that my cursor was not being shown in the video, so hopefully now you guys can see my cursor moving around. It'll make me pointing things out a lot easier than them just popping up and having an invisible cursor. So, like I said, I'm going to embark on our first mission here. Oh, actually, let's actually rename our guys, because I always have a rough time with the names that they name them themselves. So let's go ahead. I'm just gonna name them basic names, things that are easy to remember. So we're gonna have Jeff the Crusader. That sounds good. I could have spelled it the other way, but I didn't, because this is the way I am used to. Here I'm going to explain the quirks real quick. These are the positive ones on the left side. You can see, 10% blight resistance, that's pretty good. 10% damage if torch is above 75, that's a fantastic one to have. And then on the right side you have your negative ones. Some of them that are negative really aren't that negative, like in town will only pray for stress relief. Yeah, that's negative, but the reason it's negative is because that means you can only relieve his stress in one spot of the town, and sometimes that spot is full, so you might not be able to always utilize that stress relief for this character. He also has Kleptomaniac, so every once in a while he'll take an item, so then at the end of the mission you won't get the money for it, which, again, is not too bad. And you can get rid of these later on, and the longer you keep them on, the harder it is to get rid of them, and I will show you an example of that soon, hopefully. Let's see. I'm gonna rename this guy Mike. Like I said, I'm just sticking with very basic names. He's got actually 3 positive quirks, that's nice. And this one is he's not allowed to gamble, so no gambling for Mike. Mike is not. He probably has too much debt. He's not allowed back in there. Percy the Plague Doctor. Makes sense to me. Oh, he gets 20% stress versus human. That's not good. Although, first couple dungeons is mostly like undead and stuff, so that's not going to be too bad. Okay. What should our Vestal be? It is a woman, and I like. Let's just go Mary. Super simple. I don't want to cap. There we go. Okay. And she actually, I hope she has, yes, Divine Grace. That is good. This is like a decent heal. It's alright. It usually can mitigate most damage that's done in a round, and then this is a party heal. Unfortunately, it only heals 1 to 2 HP, so it really doesn't heal that much. However, you can level these up, and they will increase how much they can heal. I usually always prioritize my healer because, honestly, my least favorite thing is heroes dying. Even though you always have a plethora of heroes and you can always get new heroes for free, I just prefer to have my veteran heroes. So let's get out of here. We'll embark on a quest.
A mecca of madness
As you
and
can
morbidity. Your work begins.
I should say, as you can see, I keep talking over the narrator. Or not, he's talking over me. But as you can see, you can go to the end game right off the bat. So with your first 4 people, we just started the game. These are all the base people you get. You can go right to the last boss. Well, not really the last boss, but the final dungeon right off the bat. I think you have to fill this meter up, and once the meter is filled, you can fight the boss of that area. It's not advised because obviously you can see here that this is a level 6 dungeon, and my highest level adventurer is level 1. So he pretty much will get wrecked right off the bat. Like he probably won't even be able to kill one enemy. All 4 of these guys could probably not kill one enemy. You'd be very lucky if you could get through one encounter without losing your whole party. So we start off in the very beginning, which is the ruins. Level 1, it's a short quest. All you have to do is explore 90% of the rooms. You don't, if you want to avoid fights, you can. You're not forced to fight everybody. However, if there is a battle in that room, and it's the only way for you to proceed, you really do have to fight. So here we go. We can see our rewards that we will get once we're done. And all you have to do to get started is drag your party in the order that you want them to proceed. And then it'll give your party a name too. Different compositions are called different things. Next you'll go to provision.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
So, there's no specific way that you should provision, but I usually, for short missions, I always pretty much go with this setup, unless I know I'm like looking for something specific. Food is kind of random. At some points your party might get hungry, and each party member will have to consume 1 food. If you don't have enough food, they get stressed out. So I always bring 8, that way in case they get stricken by hunger twice, I can remedy that. Also, if you want, you can just heal with food. But I don't recommend it. I recommend saving your food for when your adventurers get hungry. Shovels, every once in a while there's an obstacle. If you don't have a shovel, you can still get past the obstacle. However, you'll take a hefty stress toll for clearing that obstacle. It's usually like 30 stress or something like that, which is a third of your stress bar. So I really recommend bringing at least 1 to 2 shovels each time. And last but not least is torch. So once we get in the dungeon, I'll explain a little bit more about torch. All you need to know is that you definitely want plenty of torches. Like, I'd rather have more torches than I need than run out of torches. Alright, let's get in here. Okay, we're in here. I'm going to explain torch real quick. So at the top you have a meter. This is your torch meter. It goes up to 100, and as you go through the dungeon it goes down. As it goes down, negative effects will be added. If it's higher, you'll get positive effects. So right now my torch is maxed out, it's at 100%, and as you can see I get plus to scouting, and I get plus to monster surprised. So if I get, as I go from room to room, I have a higher chance of scouting the room ahead of me, and if I am encountered in battle, I have a higher chance of surprising the enemy. As my torch gets lower, enemies have a higher chance of surprising me, and other effects. I take more damage, more stress, things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the next room here. See, now he just took 2 stress. This is a torch here. Those are always good to find on the way. As you can see, as I walk, the torch goes down. It's now at 76%. So before I go into the next room, I don't know if there's a monster in that room or what, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pop a torch to give myself better chances.
As the light gains purchase,
There it goes, back up to
spirits
100.
are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
And I was correct, there was a battle. But since my torch was high, I had a higher chance of surprising them. And as you can see, both of them are surprised. So now I get a whole round of combat against them. Now these being undead, they have 200% bleed resistance, so trying to make them bleed out really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to go for a quick kill on both of them. I'm going to go ahead and grape shot them. Now the Plague Doctor, they are not immune to blight, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to try to give them a little bit of blight to show you how mechanic.
Well struck.
Now he's been blighted, so he's going to take 4 damage per round for 5 rounds. That's a ton of damage. So that is really good. Although these are really low level enemies, as you can see, and he only has 8 health. So it's really not that big of a deal here. But later on you'll run into bigger enemies. My Crusader's up. He's got Smite, which is 15% damage versus Unholy, so that's great for this whole area, because almost all the enemies here are Unholy, so he just gets a huge damage boost to everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack this skeleton here.
Another one falls.
And as you can see, that 15% really pays off, because he would have one-shotted that guy no matter what. Here's another mechanic that I can teach you. When an enemy dies, they leave their corpse on the ground. There are ways to clear the corpses. Different abilities can do that. What am I going to do? I'm going to do Judgment. And I will... yeah, just use it with him, I guess.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
That's a good little bit of money right there. I'm gonna have my highwaymen try to open this. It says unlocked. Hopefully it's not trapped. It's not.
A handsome
Oh,
reward
a shovel. That's great.
for a task well performed.
Okay. Gotta move up to the next room. We have to scout 90% of these. So all but one. We can skip one room. And here's
Even
what I
the
was talking
cold
about.
stone
In order to
seems
clear
bent on
rubble,
preventing passage.
you should use a shovel. If you accidentally click this, you will take a stress hit, so you always want to click the actual shovel. And we're going to keep on moving. And as you see, I wasn't checking my torch, and I'm at 70%, so I'm going to take extra stress. Luckily, we managed to surprise them, so I'm going to try to kill these 2 in the front real quick, so that I can beat the guy in the rear. And I will also try to plague grenade the guy in the rear. Let's see. Oh, I can't use that. I'll use Judgment again. I really want to kill the last guy, but I'm going to go for him.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
And as you can see, the corpse prevents the third guy from moving up. So the only way for him to move up into range is to destroy the corpse. I'm gonna go ahead and smite the guy in the front.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
And he's gonna try to stress out my healer. See that 20 stress damage? And it filled up a quarter of my bar already. Even more than that. Over a third of my bar is filled already from one attack. So you can see that managing stress is really important. I'm gonna go ahead and use Grape Shot because that's the only thing I have that will reach. Actually, no, it's not. This will reach. And I'll go ahead and let's see. Yeah, I'll use Plague Grenade.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
There we go. Easy day. Gonna keep on moving. I will pop a torch, and I'm only at 85, so I'll pop another torch.
The light, the promise of safety.
And see, since it's 94% torch, I have a chance to scout. That's what just happened. I can see that there's a room battle up here with treasure. There's a room battle here with curio. And there's no battle here. This is an empty room. These are traps. Here, these little spider webs. And these are curios, which could be like a bookshelf or different little things that you can interact with. So I'm going to go to the one with the treasure, and I'm going to avoid this altogether. I'm going to have... I just like to have my highwaymen open stuff.
Finding the stuff is only the first
that's
test. Now it must be carried home.
Skeleton keys unlock chests and they open secret compartments in chests. Okay, perfect. Again, right off the bat, I'm going to use Plague Grenade on the guy in the rear, and he dodged it. That's great. This guy up front does not have that much bleed resist. I'm going to try to bleed him out. He's going to try to stress my Crusader. I'd rather him not do that. Let's see. Judgment. I'll use that. Yeah, I'll go ahead and use that on the front. He should die on his turn. He should die from bleed damage.
Slowly, gently.
And there he goes.
This is
now,
how
if they die
life
from
is
bleed or
taken.
blight, they do not leave a corpse. I'm going to go ahead and... He is not unholy, so I'll go ahead and smite the front guy. Oh, wow. My Crusader cannot swing his sword to save his life. Give him a little bit of bleed. I'll go ahead and I'm gonna buff my Crusader a little bit. Hopefully he can one-hit this skeleton next round. Ooh. Normally that would pull her a couple spots forward, but as you saw, she resisted it, so that's really good. I'm just going to go ahead and smite.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
I haven't had a real opportunity to need to heal yet. Oh, and sometimes if they do a good attack, they can get they can relieve some stress. So hopefully this will one-hit this guy.
Back to the pit.
And it did. Perfect. Beautiful. Let's have the highwaymen open the chest. As I said, you can use the skeleton key, and
Wealth
it'll
beyond
unlock some
measure.
different things.
Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy
that's good.
alike.
Now we can move to the empty room. We did a little bit of a scouting job there. I'll go ahead and pop a torch again.
In Radiance,
And
may we
we will move
find
in.
victory.
Now, my Highwayman's gonna have my best chance of disarming this trap as well. You just have to get close enough that it turns red so you can select it. Somewhere it actually tells you their trap chance. I think you have to check it out in town, I'm not sure. Or maybe you can right click. Yeah, he has a 50% chance to undo traps. Each hero has their own individual chance of undoing traps. He's got 20%. He's got 20%. And she only has 10%. So, as you can see, Highwayman's going to be your best option for doing traps. A lot of going through dungeons is just managing your torch. As the torch goes down, you get better chance of getting treasure. However, it does get more dangerous, so it's kind of a risk-reward system. Great. Oh my gosh, 12 food, that's amazing. Of course I'm gonna take that. We're about to feast. Actually, he can just eat some of that right now. Why not? Oh, this is what I was talking about. Hunger will strike, and it takes 4 food. If you don't, you will take 20% damage, plus stress damage. So that's really not good. So always try to keep some food on you. Plus it'll regain your health anyways. So there's not really any negative to having a surplus of food other than it takes up inventory space. And I should note that this is all the inventory space that you get right here. If you fill this up, that's it. You get nothing else. So you really, if you want to keep getting more and more treasure, you need to manage your inventory here.
A blazing
And I'm glad I
star
found
is
that
born.
second shovel, because there was another pile of rubble. And it would not have been good to run into. And we got one more battle. Great. Oh, I hate this move. It does so much stress damage. 15. And this guy's gonna be super annoying too. Sniping from the back. Yeah, I'll do Plague Grenade. Both of these guys can get blighted. I'm glad I healed up before I came in here. Let's see. I can... I'll actually shoot this guy. He's the most annoying out of all of them. Buff myself up a little. And then I will go ahead and smite him again. Why not? I really don't like that guy. And then I will try to kill this guy. He does more damage. Actually, no, he doesn't. This guy does more damage and he has less health, so why not go for him? That's my philosophy. Why not do what makes sense? Let's see. Now I can do pistol shot. Oh my goodness. I'm just having bad luck right now. I'm gonna go ahead and heal up Mike. And of course, they're all gonna target him for now, because he's dying basically, or he's got the least amount of health. Yeah, why not? I'll go try to blight them both again. This guy's gonna take 8 damage next time, so. There we go. Got a little bit of luck going on. Yeah, I'll go ahead and
Be gone,
get
fiend.
rid of that guy. And then I can go ahead and Pistol shot him.
Continue the
He's
onslaught.
down.
Destroy them.
This should be the end of the battle here. I can't believe he didn't die from blight. He's got like 1 life left. Or 1 health. Let's see. You can actually even blight corpses, so this corpse will take blight damage over time. Hopefully I can kill this guy quickly. He's only got 2 health left. I'm gonna go ahead and use Judgment on him, and he will die naturally next turn from blight. So this might even give me a chance to heal up a little bit. I can do battlefield medicine. Yeah. It doesn't even matter. I can shoot him. Even if I didn't shoot him next turn, he would
Ghoulish
die.
horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Let's see. And I'm lucky it's not
A
trapped.
fortune.
I'll take that.
Waiting to be spent.
Alrighty, let's get out of here. Sometimes it pays off to fully explore the ruins, and other times it doesn't. Sometimes you just want to get out when your quest is done. I typically get out as soon as possible because I don't want a ton of stress damage. I'd say that was a pretty good first dungeon. We didn't even lose anybody. So let's go back to the estate. Oh look, and everybody's gotten a trait now. Let's see. See, he got a negative and a positive. So I'm gonna either have to choose to get rid of this or just ignore it for now. He just has a positive. That's good. Especially good that it's crit for him. He's already got high crit. Maniac or Manic for money. I don't know if that's good or bad. I haven't seen that one yet. But that is good though. Robust. So they all pretty much got good traits. That's decent. Well, I'm glad so far with how we started.
The letter. Now, like me, you are a part of this place.
So we've completed our first foray into the ruins. Very nice. Next time, when we start out, I'll look into upgrading some of these structures now that we actually have some upgrading materials, and possibly get some new heroes. But I'll have to see you next time. This has been D-Bar playing Darkest Dungeon. See you later, folks.